Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another update on the Super Disney Ride Showdown on Matthew Diaz's Twitter and Instagram. I just found out he sent me the statistics right now, and apparently it is both Instagram and Twitter, so it is combined in these, which means if one ride does not win on Twitter, could it win on Instagram? And right now, Instagram votes that are coming in right now, there are just about a little over double what the votes are on Twitter. So if you want to do that, I believe his Instagram should be the same thing, linked below. But you can, but I prefer, however you prefer to vote, you can do that. We got updates on 3 more brackets, ladies and gentlemen, in this one. One's ongoing right now, but 2 of them just closed on Monday. On Monday, the mini bracket closed out. Let's take a look at those results. But before we begin, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket of the mini bracket before Monday. And now let's take a look at the results. Starting off with the Mad Tea Party and Main Street Vehicles. And Tea Party beats out Main Street Vehicles 174 to 69. These are total combined with 243 votes, total 174 to 69. Pinocchio's Daring Journey taking on Jesse's Critter Carousel, 225 total votes, 166 goes to Pinocchio. They win. A lot of these are big beatouts, with the exception of our 4th matchup, which is coming up. The next matchup is going to be the Disneyland Monorail system taking on Jumpin' Jellyfish, and Monorail with another sweep. 67% of the vote of 272 total votes. And then you have the Disneyland Railroad going up against Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. That ended up being a very, very close call, but still with about 50 votes off, 47 to be exact. On Instagram, this had 178 total votes, 109 went to the Disneyland Railroad, and it was a very close call on Twitter, 43 to 36, but the Instagram Kings beat out the Twitter, and as a result, 152 to 105. That is the closest matchup we've had so far in this tournament. Railroad moves on to round 2. Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage goes up against Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. My pick was Nemo Subs, and surprisingly so, they lost. 132 to 49 on Instagram. Total votes 175 to 61. Just about doubling up, more than almost tripling up on Nemo. And now let's take a look at the updated bracket for the mini bracket. So moving on to the second round, Mad Tea Party, Pinocchio's Daring Journey, Disneyland Monorail, Disneyland Railroad, Winnie the Pooh moving on as well. The bye-week teams are Matterhorn, Big Thunder Mountain, and the Incredicoaster. First matchup in round 2 is going to be Matterhorn taking on Mad Tea Party. That's going to be a very interesting one, but I do like my back being broken, and that means Matterhorn should take this one. But I could be wrong. Mad Tea Party, one gets your back broken, the other one could get you motion sickness. Either way, I think this is going to be a toss-up. This is a very good matchup right here. But one of them is a roller coaster, and I really like the history of the Matterhorn. So I'll take Matterhorn as my pick. Pinocchio's Daring Journey versus Big Thunder Mountain. Pinocchio is in the little corner of Fantasyland. Not really sure if it's going to be worth beating Big Thunder. I tend to get a little bit cramped up in there. Their ride vehicles are a little bit not for my liking. So I'll take Big Thunder on that. Monorail versus the Railroad. The 2 transportation of Disneyland. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, folks. One takes you around the park, 4 lands, and the other one takes you to go to Starbucks. As I've mentioned, Disneyland Monorail is my Starbucks Express, and because I like my Starbucks, I might go with the Monorail. But you got dinosaurs in the Railroad, so that's going to be a toss-up. I'm going to be expecting this one to be the matchup to watch, but if I were you, go Monorail. Winnie the Pooh versus Incredicoaster, hands down Incredicoaster. It does, from what I've heard, it's run faster than when it was the California Screamin', so that's going to be very interesting. So far, the matchup to watch in the mini bracket round 2 is going to be the monorail versus the railroad. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the Goofy matchup, the Goofy bracket right here. The Goofy bracket is currently ongoing on Twitter and on Instagram. So far for this one, this is really blowing up on Twitter. Let's take a look at the Twitter vote right now. Roger Rabbit is... like, you have this bracket that so far is filled with tension. Roger Rabbit and It's a Small World are at 76 votes on Twitter, with It's a Small World edging out by 52.6% of the vote. The matchup so far for Goofy is so tense right now. Goofy Sky School versus Dumbo. Sky School with the edge on Dumbo, 52.3% of the vote at 86 votes. So far, Star Tours going a little bit more against Silly Symphony Swing, 64.9, 35.1 at 94 votes. Midway Mania and the Canoes. Now this is so far being a very, very debatable thing. 15 retweets on it so far. 12 hours in. I'm recording this at midnight. 51.4%. 48.6 on Twitter at 259 votes. So far, this is the highest voted one on Twitter so far in this bracket matchup. This one has a lot of support for the Canoes, and they really are pushing for the Canoes to win. And this is a toss-up, but I'm gonna give I already voted, and I voted for Mania. Sorry guys. Roger Rabbit and It's a Small World, the Disney classic, again barely edging it out, 52.6, 47.4 on that one, was so far the only major blowout, at least at 83.8%, is the Jungle Cruise. This is currently ongoing. It's not final, so we're going to have to see tomorrow the final results. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with this one. It's a late night, it's a late upload, but there's a lot of tension late, like at 1 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to see what happens tomorrow. So long.